to receive for the Scarlet Knights. Jaden Fielding will send it away. Senior day here in Columbus. And here we go. And it's fair caught at the 10-yard line. Athan Kaliakmanis. And he'll throw it on first down. Sideline throw. Raymond out of the backfield, wrestled right down. Second down and 10 at the 25. And they'll hand it off. Raymond, not a lot of room as Tywan Malone Jr. gets to him first. Defensively for the Bucks.
Well, this is the best defense in America, and they're great because they're great right down the middle. First-round draft picks right down the middle on all three levels. Caleb Downs is terrific.
Rutgers taking a shot down the field. Will punt it away from his own 11-yard line. Brandon Innes, the deep man, at the 30. This one, end over end kick. Innes signals for the fair catch and has it at the 27. Having a terrific season. And they'll get it to him on first down, and he gets met in the backfield. Bradley Weaver, first man to him offensively.
Up for the Buckeyes here today.
After the loss of 2, second and 12 to the 25. Delayed handoff. Jackson with room. Look at the wiggle, and he'll pick up a first down. In his last game against UCLA, 15 carries, 112 yards, and a touchdown. They give it to him again. Running left.
That were out last time they played against Maryland. So they are a patchwork group.
Second down and 8. Sayan will throw it. Sideline throw, caught, not enough for the first. Third down and 4 at the 46. Opening series for Ohio State. Sayan with time, delivers to the sideline. First down, Max Clare. First down from the 49. Jackson breaks free. Jackson, first down, tumbles forward.
He gets some contact runs through it, and he's able to pick up the first.
Jackson comes into this game with 725 yards rushing. Around the corner again. Another first down by Jackson.
Seeing him make guys miss, create big plays in the run game.
First down at the 23. Here's the pitch. Isaiah West this time. Sayan drops it underneath. Ball caught. Clare again at the Rutgers 11. Here's a pitch out wide to Jackson. Turns it up. And almost a touchdown. Out of the I formation. First and goal at the 1. They give it to Bojack straight ahead. And he lost it.
So as Jackson gets hit, you'll see that football comes loose, and it's down, it's on the ground, he's definitely up.
Ohio State turns the football over. Rutgers has it. First and 10 at their own 20-yard line. And here's Raymond running straight ahead. Hopeful and determined that this Rutgers program is going to continue to get better. Second and 9, sidearm throw caught.
It's created with the turnover.
Third down and 1. Rutgers looking for that first down. Can they push the pile forward with Raymond? And they snap it. Raymond breaks it back, and he won't get it. Jalen McClain gets there. The Buckeyes on offense. And they run the reverse with Peoples.
So Ryan Day showing some confidence in his young player.
Second and 4. Jackson. And he'll be tackled behind the line of scrimmage. Donaldson. Here's Sayan with time. Sayan rolls out, buys time, and finally just steps out of bounds. A flag on the play. Inside the 20-yard line.
Holding. Defense number 10. 10-yard penalty.
Jackson, straight ahead, touchdown, Bo Jackson. Fourth rushing touchdown of the season. Jaden Fielding in for the extra point, and it's good.
For a touchdown.
And this one fair caught inside the 5.
It's kind of a defensive end on the top.
First down to the 25. Kaliakmanis with time. Scrambles out of the pocket, throws on the move to the sideline. Ian Strong with the catch.
See the officials with their hats
Number
off.
9 of the offense went out of bounds, returned to catch the pass, which is illegal touching. So lost it down at the previous spot. It's second down.
Over 700 yards and 5 touchdowns. Second down and 10 of the 25. Kaliakmanis dumps it down. And this ball caught and out of bounds goes Kenny Fletcher Jr. Kaliakmanis sprints out. He'll try to get the first down himself, and he does. Kaliakmanis drops it down. Ball knocked away, picked up. Let's see. Incomplete is the call.
As Curry knocked over Kaliakmanis.
Second and 10 at the 37. Kaliakmanis delivers the deep ball down the sideline and incomplete. Ignosin in coverage. Ball intended for K.J. Duff. Kaliakmanis. Nice throw. Great catch. K.J. Duff.
You've got a one-on-one. Why not take a shot to your big wide receiver?
First down to the 49. Play clock winding down. They get it off. Brown with a hole, and he'll get forward at the 46. Samuel Brown remains in the game. Kaliakmanis, play fake, step sack. Oh, he gets ripped down by Caden Curry. Woo! Now that is strength.
Well, just a great job. First he contacts the tackle, and then he wins after the contact. Rips by him. Great job getting to Kaliakmanis, and the strength of that one hand, grabbing him by the jersey, Gus, like you said, and dragging him down with one hand.
They're 2 of 2 on third downs on this drive. Kaliakmanis steps up in the pocket, wants to run it, and it'll go down. Kaliakmanis guns it. Incomplete. And a flag thrown late. K.J. Duff, the target. Jermaine Matthews Jr. in coverage.
Well, there's that mismatch height-wise, and so here's the matchup on the outside. You've got Matthews and Duff.
Defense number 7, first down at the spot of the foul.
That one looks a little questionable.
Yeah, that's
so a first down for Rutgers at the 41. Kaliakmanis with the handoff, and Brown here comes a blitz. They hand it off. Brown looking for daylight, bursting through. And he'll get close to that first down marker. On 2nd and 6, he picks up 5.
Yeah, he did a great job here of being patient. And then 54, Taj White. He sealed the edge, and Caden Curry couldn't get out there. And that's Downs that had to make the tackle.
And Rutgers stays on the ground. Brown with a first down. Rutgers very effective moving the football on this series.
Their offensive line has done a nice job. When you watch the film, in particular in their last ball game against Maryland, that offensive line was physical, and they just kept at it. And the middle three, I think, are their best guys. Brian Felter, the left guard, Zelinskis, the center, and Asamoah, the right guard. Those are the guys that are the most physical, and they're doing a good job right now.
12th play of the drive that started at the 25. First down at the Ohio State 30. Kaliakmanis goes through his progressions, drops it off. Ball knocked away. Do they rule this a catch? No, incomplete. Sonny Styles, this time, dislodging that football.
So Colin Weber right here, you wonder, does he ever have control? And no, clearly doesn't have control. And Styles was there for the hit and knocked it away from Colin Weber, the tight end, transferred in from Charlotte this year. He is a senior. Styles, Johnny on the spot there.
Second down and 10 at the Ohio State 30. Kaliakmanis has to look for those big receivers. K.J. Duff, Ian Strong rolls out, dumps it down. Fletcher Fletcher breaks the tackle and tumbles forward.
Lorenzo Styles off. He was being helped off the field after that last play.
Rutgers on a 13-play, 49-yard drive. Calliet Mattis. Incomplete. Got it up. And go. You know, I don't know anything anymore. As Socrates would say, the one thing I know is I know nothing. But I do know I'm trying to get some tickets for that game. If you know anybody, next week we go to Michigan.
We may know somebody.
You might know. I'm going to go online and see if I can find some. This ball kicked out of bounds. First down and 10 at the 35. And Jackson, and he's ambushed in the backfield. Saying. Under pressure, on the move, incomplete. Knocked away at the end. Ennis was the target. Cam Miller, the Penn State transfer.
Really good coverage, you know, and right in the hip pocket of Ennis. And these are always those plays, you know, if you got Carnell Tate and Jeremiah Smith, they always win on the outside. Ennis is a really good player, but he's not Tate or Smith. And you're starting to see that. Normally, Ohio State can come out and just pitch and catch at ease in this passing game. It's been a little bit more difficult. The O-line is not playing great, in particular in pass protection.
Third down and 13. Sayin steps into his throw. And incomplete. Unable to hold on to that football, David Adolph. And Ohio State will have to punt it away.
He runs a good route. And Sayin does a great job of stepping away from the little pressure that showed up in the pocket. And he delivers a really catchable ball, and Adolph just drops it, and they're going to have to punt it away.
Eric O'Neal with pressure for Rutgers. And this is the first punt of the game for the Buckeyes. Joe McGuire from the 17. Sheffield, the deep man for Rutgers. And he has it at the 25. Calliet Mattis. The leader. He'll hand it off. Raymond with room. Raymond dragging defenders. 2nd and 2 at the 32. And Raymond trying to lean forward. This time Zion Grady. Rutgers 3 of 7 on 3rd down conversions. Calliet Mattis goes up top. Incomplete. Fletcher broke open late in front of Caleb Downs, and Calliet Mattis unable to put it on him.
I tell you, he had him there because he's behind the coverage, and Downs is trying to recover, but he leads him way too far to the left. You could tell that Fletcher wanted to go more up the field, straight down the field, and he had Downs, who had come down because of that play fake and was trying to recover on Fletcher, who came from the tight end position.
So Jacob Anderson will punt it away inside his own 20. Brandon Ennis, the deep man, at the 22. Remember, Rutgers can be tricky. They fake. And they kick it away. Looks like he thought about it, Joel. I don't know.
He sure did. Look at this punt.
And look at it. Down at the 1-yard line. What a job by Jacob Anderson. A 66-yard punt.
Only bad things happen for the returning team, and this one bounces all the way inside the 5.
So Julian Sayin and the Buckeye offense started their 0-2. They hand it off straight ahead to Jackson, and he runs into a pile. Rutgers, this defense now, you can see that they're inspired.
Yeah, they are. And the last series, they played great up front. They got pressure in the backfield, all 3 snaps. A tackle for loss on the first run play, pressure in Sayin's face on 2nd and 3rd down, and here a nice stand at the line of scrimmage. And these guys have got to play well, and in particular in a series like this, because this is what can set up an offense for Rutgers with great field position. So this is when you need to be as aggressive as possible as a defensive play caller.
2nd and 9. They'll hand it off again. Donaldson this time. Not blocked. Gang tackling. Masgo. Jabome combining. So a big third down for the Rutgers defense. They'd love nothing more than to get off the field here.
Well, and who's the guy that you go to on the outside? And Greg Schiano knows that without Tate and without Smith, Ohio State's got to figure out who's the target on third down. I would think it's got to be a guy like Max Clare. Max Clare is right here in the slot. All-American tight end.
3rd and 6 at the 6. Sayin looking underneath, caught, and a first down, Ohio State. David Adolph, the senior, picks up 9.
He comes back. He had the drop on the last series, and he comes back right here. Just a hook route right over the ball. And as soon as those linebackers get any depth at all, Sayin immediately goes to him right in the middle of the field. All his completions have been to the tight ends until that one right there to Adolph. So finally a wide receiver on the board for Ohio State.
If you weren't with us at the top of our broadcast, Jeremiah Smith, Carnell Tate, the 2 tremendous receivers for Ohio State are out today because of injuries. Sayin again, got it away at the last moment. Under pressure by Eric O'Neal. He was an eye blink away from Julian Sayin.
O'Neal had a monster game 2 weeks ago against Maryland. I mean, he was so close to Sayin. He had 10 tackles, 2 tackles for loss. Look, oh my goodness, he almost got that ball. That would have been disastrous for Ohio State. O'Neal was a transfer from James Madison, was only there for 1 year, so never actually played for Kurt Cignetti before Cignetti left to Indiana. But I tell you, that was close on that play.
2nd and 10 at the 15. Julian Sayin letting it fly now. Here's a screen. Jackson with space. And Bo Jackson, nice run after the catch.
They get a block. 51 does a nice job. Adolph, 82 gets a block. There's Hensman just shielding their guys enough so that Bo Jackson can find the line to gain and move the chains. And we do have a Rutgers defender that's down on the far side.
At the 29-yard line. Julian Sayin, 5 of 8, 41 yards so far. C.J. Donaldson checks in at running back. Play fake. Sayin pulls it out over the middle, and it's caught. Clare, head of steam, midfield. Now Clare still running. Finally tripped up deep inside. First down at the 32. West. Nothing. He gets knocked backwards.
In the last couple of series, it's been tougher.
2nd down. Sayin dancing in the pocket. Guns it sidearm, and it's caught by Ennis. Sayin. Sideline caught. Clare again trying to fight. Donaldson in the backfield. And a timeout, Ohio State. Now they spread it out. Trips up top. Keno sprints out that side, looking incomplete. And Rutgers will turn them over on downs. Bennett Christian, the target, but there is a flag.
Personal foul, roughing the passer, defense number 94. 15-yard penalty, first down.
Oh my goodness, what a mistake from Rutgers. I mean, the play call, I mean, I got to tell you, this is fascinating. You put in a backup quarterback, you got a Heisman Trophy contender, but here you see that late. Yeah, absolutely. I mean, Weaver goes in, hits him with the shoulder, the flag's going to come out. There's no doubt. And you can see in the back end, you can see
the Ohio State drive extended. 1st and 10 at the 12. Keenholz gives it up. West. And he'll go out of bounds.
That's an interesting time to put something on film.
11th play of the drive. It started at the 2. Play fake. Sayin in the end zone. Touchdown, Ennis.
I mean, what a throw. It's a beautiful throw, and Ennis has that foot down. Does he maintain control through the process of going to the ground? It looks like he does. There's control. He's got that left foot down.
And it's good. Ohio State goes on an 11-play, 98-yard drive.
Like airplanes on a tarmac ready to take off. These guys are so good. And Ennis is a guy that, from a leadership perspective, has stepped up. Even though he hasn't had huge production through his career, he's a captain on this team for a reason, and they all love him.
First down to the 25 for Rutgers. Handoff, Raymond, all sorts of running room. Raymond hit as he's given the ball, no gain. Bo Atkinson, first man to him. Senior from Raleigh, North Carolina, UNC transfer. 2nd and 10. Calic Manis pulls it down, now fires back, and Igbenogson stretching out. Strong, the intended receiver.
That's great coverage by Igbenogson. He was right in his hip pocket, and he was able to get over the top, just bat that ball away nice and calm.
Ohio State leading it 14-3. 1:39 to go. Here's Calic Manis, the deep ball. And picked up by Igbenogson. But there is a flag. And this may be pass interference.
Personal foul. Illegal hands to the face. Defense number 96. 15-yard penalty. Automatic first down.
They get Edric Houston in the middle of that defensive line. That's going to wipe out the interception. So there's Houston right in the middle, right here. And you can see he gets his hands right up into the face. There's no doubt, right into the helmet of the center.
Here's the handoff. Brown tries to turn it back and is bottled up and taken down. Houston makes up for the penalty. That's a loss of 2.
Yeah, still a lot of time here with 1:21 left and counting. Couple of timeouts. Don't have to go super quick, but they are. I mean, they are going fast.
Calic Manis, sideline, wide open target. Out of bounds goes Sheffield, and the clock stops at 1:10.
Ohio State got caught up in a similar route that we saw Ohio State run earlier on offense. And on that side, it's Devin Sanchez, the youngster, and Jermaine Matthews. They both went with the same guy. It's an easy completion.
3rd and 2 at the 40. Calic Manis in trouble and goes down. The pocket collapsed. Styles, Caden McDonald combining. 2nd sack of the day for Ohio State. Gets it away. Ennis lets it go over his head.
A couple of drives for Ohio State came up short.
And they'll hand it off. Peoples gets back to the line of scrimmage. No gain.
They drove down, fumbled on the 1-yard line. You know, that's a drive that could have very well ended up in the end zone, and they punted it away on a 3-and-out. And you know, I know Ryan Day well enough to know that he's going to go in there and get after his group.
Without Jeremiah Smith and Carnell Tate, Julian Sand has been checking that ball down to the tight end a lot.
Yeah, 5 for 5 to the tight ends. And how about a little trickery?
That's a lot of balls line. Picked up and out of bounds at the 10-yard line. Brandon Ennis threw it to James Peoples at the 9-yard line for Ohio State. Jackson on the edge. And Jackson close to a first down. Looks like he'll get it. Here comes a blitz. Jackson. And they gobble him up immediately. 2nd and 13 at the 19. Sayin guns it. Nice throw, nice catch. Adolph. Jackson straight ahead. Oh, Jackson. 2nd down and 2 at the 41 for Ohio State. Julian Sand Drops it off. Guess who? Max Clare. Almost lost it, but he recovers the football. Max Clare having a day. James Peoples jumping on the football.
There's a flag over there way on the far side. And this is the end of the play as Clare, he gets hit hard. Rutgers is playing physical. That ball clearly out right there. And Peoples was the one that was able to jump on it. Officials are having a discussion on the far side.
Max Clare, 5 catches, 65 yards.
There is no foul on the play. The contact was ruled legal, first down.
When you take players like Tate and Smith off the field, it's going to affect anybody, and it certainly affected this Buckeyes team.
1st and 10 at the 47. And the handoff West this time. 2nd and 6. Play fake, Keynotes, rolls. Delivers. Incomplete. Sayin back in. Sayin off his back foot, leads his receiver, incomplete.
I thought that ball was pretty well thrown. I thought Clare should have grabbed that one, but again, punting unit on the field for Ohio State.
McGuire, short kick with English. Oh, what a great job. Down at the 1. Antoine Raymond in the backfield. They'll throw it. Far side, nice toss, good catch, strong. 7 of 14, 52 yards. 2nd and 1. Raymond. He will not get there. Brown leaning. It will be close. Rutgers picks up the first down at their own 11 with some breathing room now. Another run. 3rd down and 9 at the 12. Make that 2nd down and 9 at the 12. And hit. Loose. Curry. Caden Curry.
Great rush around that right tackle, and he gets to the arm of Kaliak. Manis, ball is out, and now he's got a little scoop, and they say he's just short as he hits the ground, spinning over the top. And he's put together a monster year. That's his 9th sack of the year.
1st down and goal at the 1. They run it with Donaldson. And he will not get in. Nicely done. Donaldson, the deep man in the I formation. Play fake, saying, looking. End zone. Incomplete. The intended receiver, but a flag on the play.
Holding. Offense number 78, 10-yard penalty. 2nd down.
Saying to throw. Under pressure. And incomplete. Thank you for correcting me. 3rd down and goal at the 11. Saying. End zone. Wide open. Touchdown. How did Max Clare get so wide open? Gives Ohio State a 20-3 lead. Fielding, extra point, and good. And Wolverines are at Maryland. And they'll hand it off. Raymond. Now you have 7 Heisman Trophy winners for Ohio State. Archie Griffin twice.
That's kind of where my head's going. I don't know. I'm stumped on
We
this
just
one.
don't know. And Rutgers to throw it. Kaliak Manis in trouble and just gets rid of it out of bounds. 3rd down and 9. Far side throw, nobody home, incomplete.
But now, I mean, Julian Zane's thrown for 80% this year. Like, it's wild. The way that the game has changed and the efficiency of the passing game has changed.
And it's the deep man as Anderson kicks it off. And he has it at the 30-yard line. First down and 10 at the 30. Let me take you to East Lansing in February. I'll show you freezing. Jackson, what a hole. And Bo Jackson continues to impress.
And blocking in the run game, and that's a big run for Jackson.
15 carries, 95 yards for Jackson. He runs it again.
And you got to put your stamp on this game if you're the offensive line of the Buckeyes.
2nd and 7 at the 48. Sayin wants to throw underneath, and it's caught by Max Clare. Oh, Max Clare showing off now. 1st down at the 27. Sayin with time. Incomplete.
You calling plays or what?
Of course. No, I'm just going to be the executive.
I see.
You're calling the plays. Jackson.
But once they get here, they get better. And it's very typical for these guys to develop into what becomes like great NFL wide receivers.
3rd down and 9. Sayin. Incomplete. And a flag. Bryson Rogers covered up by Henderson, and Jacoby Henderson looks like he'll be called for the penalty.
Yeah, you know, here's the deal. I get it. There's a lot of contact, and he pulls him away. But that ball is thrown so far behind him. You know, I would make a strong argument that that's
Pass interference,
uncatchable.
defense number 10. 15-yard penalty, 1st down.
Jackson, the single setback. They give it to him. And he's wrapped up. 2nd and 9 at the 10. They toss it out to Jackson with blockers, cuts it inside. Touchdown, Buckeyes. His 2nd touchdown of the day. Extra point is good.
You know, there was a play, Mick Moriarty, their strength coach, he told me, he's like, I remember a time when our offense went so quick that Joey Bosa.
1st down and 10 of the 25 for the Scarlet Knights. Here's Benjamin now. 7 tackles. 2nd and 10 of the 25. Here comes a blitz, and it's Caleb Downs. 3rd down and 18, incomplete. And the thing about Caleb Downs, I think the best compliment
Can give Caleb things that a normal player just cannot handle. From a formation standpoint, a tendency standpoint. It's a roll punt.
And out of bounds. Dad Gary was a running back for the Giants, Broncos, and Falcons. You're saying to throw it. Excuse me, Keenholz.
But it would be a Lincoln Keenholz deal where he's athletic enough to do it like this play right here. A nice little quarterback design run. And you see Gus right there. That's what they might need in short yardage in a playoff run.
That's the story.
You think it was an intense halftime in the Buckeye locker room?
1st down. And a handoff to West. And Isaiah West. 2nd and 10. Keenholz with a burst. Keenholz. Nice cut. And a dive down. Lost the ball. Looks like he will be down.
They will.
West on the edge. Down the sideline. And knocked out of bounds at the 5.
And him having to play in the playoff run, you know, that's where his growth happened. And he knew, like, I can come in here and dominate. He's done a great job this year.
Sweetheart. 1st down and goal at the 5. Keenholz. Incomplete. 2nd and goal at the 5-yard line. Donaldson.
We'll have to figure out the flag as well as did that ball get to the goal line before he was down. It certainly looks like it did. That elbow comes down.
The ruling on the field is the runner is short of the goal line. After the play, unsportsmanlike conduct. Offense number 70 is 1st of the game. 15-yard penalty. The down counts. It's 3rd down.
Okay, so because that was a dead ball.
After review, the result of the play is a touchdown. After the play, unsportsmanlike conduct, offense number 70. His 1st of the game, the 15-yard penalty will be enforced on the kickoff.
C.J. Donaldson. Extra point is good. As Ohio State prepares to send it away. And they'll start from the 15. Black. And he'll get close to the 30.
Defense has been exceptional.
First down to the 29. And it's Raymond. Antoine Raymond wrapped up. They want to throw it over the middle. And a nice pitch.
They were suffocating, and so the run game wasn't there for Rutgers. They were great in coverage on the outside.
Here's Raymond.
Nice run there.
Raymond, and he will not get back to the line of scrimmage. They throw it. This time, Fletcher. They run it left. Raymond.
It's been really tough for them to get to that pass game. They've only run it for 1.5 yards per carry.
2nd and 6. And incomplete. But a flag. Jermaine Matthews Jr. covering K.J. Duff.
Pass interference. Defense number 7. 15-yard penalty. First down.
Play fake. Fletcher can't get in. Stopped short of the goal line.
Nice play on the outside right here. They're trying to go back to that same play they ran earlier on the series to the other direction. Fletcher just a bit short.
2nd down and goal at the 1. And touchdown, Antoine Raymond. Kaliakmanis. And picked off. Devin Sanchez in the back of the end zone. Ohio State and Rutgers. Buckeyes ready to get it again. This one fielded by Ennis and Keen Holtz in the game at QB. Here's the handoff, West.
You just think about where that rivalry left off on this field last year. With the scuffle at the end, Ohio State goes on to win the national championship. Michigan ended up beating Alabama in a bowl game. And, you know, depending on what happens with Michigan and Maryland, you know, Michigan will be thinking to themselves that they can get into the playoff with a win. You know, so I tell you, just like all the stakes in the world.
Keen Holtz drops it off. And this time it's Jelani Thurman, his 7th catch of the season.
I think they'll be tough to beat in their home stadium.
First down at the 48. West.
At Oklahoma in a non-conference game with Oklahoma firmly inside of that top 10, I think Michigan would go.
And here's the run for Peoples down the sideline. And he will stroll into the end zone for a touchdown. 49 yards.
The season really as the #1 back. Bo Jackson overtook that position, but James Peoples never stopped working. He kept a positive attitude. And I tell you, late in the season, he has turned into a really good option for this Ohio State team and provided them with a lot of depth out of that backfield. Look at the explosiveness on the outside. That offensive line did a heck of a job blocking things up and opening up the hole for their running back.
Last 4 possessions for the Buckeyes, 4 touchdowns. Extra point is good. 42-9.
You know, even without their stars, you know, I know that there were spots of that second quarter that there was probably some frustrations for Ryan Day. I know they were frustrated with that fumble at the goal line, but you look up, and without Smith and Tate, now they basically punted one time, Gus.
Yep.
You know, and they had the one fumble. They ran the ball really effectively today. Now they're up to over 6.5 per carry, 258 yards on the ground.
Actually, Ohio State has punted twice in this game.
Touchdown, 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 touchdown in the last 4 possessions. This is an efficient football team, and I will say, and I always say this, anytime I'm talking about a playoff run for any team, is that you got to have answers. You can't just have one element to your team that's great. You got to have answers if something gets taken away. Let's say you get in a shootout if you're Ohio State, when your offense has to answer the bell. Let's say you get into a slugfest, you got to answer the bell. They have proven during the course of the year to have answers. Now, I know the narrative surrounding this team, there's a lot of people that talk about that they haven't been tested, and that this team, what will happen if they and when they face adversity. There's 2 ways to look at that. Yes, they haven't faced adversity, but at the same token, you can only play the schedule that's in front of you. And at the beginning of the season, they had the #1 team in the country coming in here, Texas. They had the #2 team in the country on their schedule in Penn State. They had Illinois, who was a 10-win team a year ago. Washington had the second longest home winning streak in college football. They've taken care of business. And I'm just not going to hold it against a team that goes out there and does what they need to do. It's also due to their greatness that they have not faced adversity. It's due to their dominance on the defensive side. And I don't think that there's any team in America that you can honestly say, hey, they don't have many weaknesses. And I think this is the strongest, most complete team in the country.
Rutgers keeping it on the ground. Benjamin. Think about last year's season. Ohio State finished 14-2, 7-2 in the Big Ten. Buckeyes started that season #2. They lost 2 games by a total of 4 points. 1 point at Oregon and 3 points here against Michigan. And then, guess what? They go on to win the national title in convincing fashion, beating Tennessee by 25, Oregon by 20, Texas by 14, and Notre Dame by 11.
It was one hell of a run. I got to tell you, that was some of the best football that we've ever seen.
And Benjamin. I'll just never forget watching Jack Sawyer pick that ball up.
Captain Jack.
And run down the side. I thought I was watching a Martin Scorsese movie. I could just hear the music in the background and the crescendo when he crossed the goal line.
JT Tuimoloau. Jenny, I think he told you. I think JT said Jack came off and all he could ask was, hey, did I look fast?
Yes, you did, Jack.
You said, sure. You just say, yeah, you scored.
It looks like he's going to be a fine NFL player. Now A.J. Surace comes in at quarterback for Rutgers. Sophomore from Pennington, New Jersey. Benjamin with the run.
Yeah, you look around the country, and I think Indiana would be the next team that I would say has answers, and they look complete. It's a really good defense. They can run the football. Mendoza in the Heisman race, they can throw it really well.
What about Georgia?
Yeah, listen, that would be the 3rd team on my list, and I'm like, okay. And here's the thing, it's because they're just battle-tested. They've been down multiple possessions several times this year, so it's not like they don't have any deficiencies. The problem is they're just hard to kill.
I remember Kirby Smart saying the year they won the national championship, going into the national championship game, he was being interviewed on the sideline, and he said, we've been hunted all season long. For Rutgers. And he hands it off. Benjamin did not pick up the first down. And that brings up 4th down. Julian Sayin, 13 of 19, 157 yards, 2 touchdowns, no interceptions. He just keeps mowing along, improving.
I'll just say this, to win the Heisman, you got to have moments and stages. Now, this was never going to be the stage for Sayin, so say what you want about his numbers today. His stages are ahead of him. Next week against the Wolverines, possibly Big Ten championship against Indiana.
4th down and 2. Rutgers going for it. Benjamin cuts it back and will not get it. So Rutgers will turn it over on downs with 1:08 remaining.
Pretty convincing day from this Ohio State defense. The historic run continues. It's the 7th time in 11 games they're going to hold their opponent to under 10 points, giving up 9 today to Rutgers. They're up there with some of the all-time greats defensively. 7.6 points per game allowed this season. That's the second fewest by any team through 11 games since 1990. That Georgia team in 2021 gave up 7.5. That team went on to win the national championship. This is a motivated and excellent group. You think about all the draft picks they had off of last year's defense. Gus, they're going to have 4 first-rounders on this year's defense right down the middle, and probably another 4, maybe 5 draft picks around their defense that aren't first-rounders. You know, they're looking at 8 or 9 guys getting selected in the spring, and one of them will certainly be that man, Sonny Styles.
Ohio State came into this game wanting to take care of business, but also, more importantly, wanting to get out of the game healthy.
Yeah.
Now, Lorenzo Styles did go out. Sonny's older brother looked like he had a shoulder. Hopefully, he'll be okay for next week. And that'll do it. As Ryan's Day crosses to his friend, Coach Schiano. They have a great relationship, work together. Coach Schiano's team fought hard. Ryan Day, as he always tells us, he has one job, and that's to win every game. 11 straight now. Matt Patricia, what an addition he's been to this Ohio State team, running the defense. Let's go downstairs to Jen.
Well, Coach, I know it wasn't perfect, but then you look up at the score and total domination in the second half. How would you evaluate this finish from the group?
Guys played hard, and we stayed focused, and there's going to be some things that we want to clean up as always, but you know, now we know where the focus goes to next week, and you know, the focus has been clean all year in terms of, you know, making sure that we focus on each day at a time and maximizing each day and then showing up on Saturday. And so now we got to be at our best this week.